Hi everyone. Happy early New Year's Eve. Hope we all have a great New Year. I wish y'all nothing but good things. Alright, I thought today we'd make some peach streusel muffins, and you want to set, after you get everything out, you want to set your oven to 425 because we're only going to bake it for like 5 minutes. Don't open your oven door, then you're going to lower it to 350 and cook it for like another 19 minutes. Okay? Alright, so let's get out everything we need. Alright, for the muffins, we're going to put in a half a cup of butter, and you want that melted. Okay, and we're going to put in a half a cup of light brown sugar, or if you want, you can use dark. And if you don't happen to have any brown sugar, light or dark, just make your own, like I do. Just use molasses and white sugar. See, I make my own. This is for the light golden. And if you want it darker, you can just add more molasses, okay? Now, a little bit of molasses goes a long ways with the sugar, okay? All right, so far, we have a half a cup unsalted butter in here, melted, half a cup of light brown sugar, and we're gonna put in a quarter cup of white sugar. Now we want to cream and beat that together for a good couple minutes. You want to use the paddle of the stand mixer, okay? So let that go for a couple of minutes. And then you're going to want to get out 2 eggs at room temperature, because you're going to end up putting that in next, all right? And then a half a cup of sour cream at room temperature. And then you're going to get out 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1 3/4 cups of flour. Now, like I told you before, when you do your flour, don't just scoop it, all right? Use a spoon, okay? And take it out that way into your measuring cup. And when you get your 1 cup full, take a cake spatula or something level and level it off, okay? So you're going to need 1 3/4 cups of flour that's spooned and level. And you're going to need, which I mixed them all in, and then I mixed it up. You're going to need a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/8 teaspoon of allspice, and half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Okay? And that's going to go right in when you add your flour. And then next, you're going to want to get out a couple tablespoons of milk. You want that at room temperature. And after we mix all that in real good, then we're going to fold in 1 3/4 cups of peaches. And I just used my peaches that I canned, and I just cut them up into little pieces. But you could use fresh peaches. It would take probably a good 3 peaches. I just used a quart jar, and I have a few pieces left over from it that somebody's going to eat up, the cottage cheese, pineapple, or whatever. But just cut them up into little, dice them up into little pieces, okay? And then you're going to want to make a streusel topping, because once you put all the batter into your, you can either, whoops, and what I do and spill everything, you can either use, in your cupcake pan, you can use paper liners, or you can just spray it. Alright, so get your pan all ready and set up. And if I was to spray it, I would use pan baking spray. Alright, and for your streusel topping, because after you get your cake, it's all, your muffin batter's all mixed up, and you want to fill it. Usually with muffins, you want to fill it about halfway, 2/3 of the way. But with this one, you're going to fill it all the way to the top. Yes, all the way to the top. And then you're going to make your streusel topping, and you're going to end up gently pressing the topping onto the muffin batter before you bake it. Okay? So for the streusel muffin batter, you're going to need a 1/3 cup of light brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of white sugar, a half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and a 1/4 cup of unsalted melted butter, okay? And then you're going to take a fork and you're going to put it all in a big bowl, mix it up good, but you don't want to over mix it because you don't want it to become pasty, all right? Then after you got it mixed up fairly good, then you're going to take 2/3 cup of flour. Again, make sure you spoon and leveled it. And you're going to dump that in and just stir it around with a fork so it's like crumbly, okay? Then after you put that onto your muffin batter and you bake it, then when it's all done and cool, you want to make sure they're cool because with the peaches that we're using, if you were to take, when your muffins were done and you didn't wait for them to cool, you want to wait, really, because if you don't, the peaches are so wet, it's so fragile, the muffins. So please make sure you let them cool. When they're cool, they're fine. You can go ahead and ice them. And I just put it in a little bag with a little tip, the number 5 tip. For the icing, you're going to need 1 cup of sugar, or 1 cup of confectionery powdered sugar, 3 tablespoons of heavy cream, and half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, and you just stir that all together, and then you can either use a spoon and drizzle it over your cooled muffins, or you can just pipe it however you want to do it. Okay, and it makes 12 muffins, and you can see how big they are. Can you see that? I haven't yet put the icing on because I'm waiting for them to cool. Okay. Now we're going to add 2 eggs, because right now we use the paddle of the stand mixer. We put in half a cup unsalted butter, half a cup of light brown sugar, and a 1/4 cup of sugar. We beat that for 2 minutes. Now we're going to add 2 eggs. Mix that in good. And then next we're going to add in a half a cup of sour cream. Make sure the eggs are incorporated good before you put the sour cream in. Okay. Now let's add the half a cup of sour cream. Remember, you want the sour cream and the milk and eggs and stuff to sit out at room temperature, okay? All right. Now mix that up good. Okay, now we're going to add in our vanilla extract, which is going to be 2 teaspoons. Mix that up good. And then we're going to put our dry into it. Okay? Remember, with flour, you want to make sure the speed's on low because you don't want flour going all over. All right, so that's 1 3/4 cups of flour. Remember that we spoon and leveled. Now I'm going to add the spices in that I've already mixed and combined all together in a bowl. Got a teaspoon of baking soda, teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/8 teaspoon of ground allspice, and a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Okay, let's mix that all in good. And then next, we're going to add in a couple tablespoons of milk. Stir that up good, and then we're just going to gently fold in our peaches. Okay, and it goes to 2 tablespoons of milk. right, give that a good little stir. Make sure the bottom and everything, sides are all incorporated good. Okay, that's what the batter looks like. All right, now we're going to add our peaches. 1 3/4 cups. I'm just sitting there. I want to drain the juice out of it a little bit more. Okay, in they go. And we're just going to gently fold that in. Just like that. And these are a very moist muffin. I made them once before, not only for ourselves and other family members, but for some loved ones, and they wanted me to make them some more. So that's what I'm doing, making them some muffins. Okay, now let's let that set for a minute. Now we're going to work on the streusel topping. Okay, so get a bowl. All right, now we're going to add in a 1/3 cup of light brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of unsalted melted butter, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 1 tablespoon of sugar. All right, let's take a fork and get that a little stir. Remember, don't overmix because you don't want it super pasty. All right, just enough to get it wet and that brown sugar incorporated. Okay, just so it looks just like that. Okay, now you're going to dump in your flour. All right, which was 2/3 cup. And stir that around. This is a really good streusel topping. Okay. All right. And that's what it looks like. Just like that. You see that? All right. Now get your muffin pan. All right, I'm just using a 1/4 cup measuring cup. And you could use an ice cream scoop, but, and you want to fill it right to the top. Just like that. And these peaches, oh my God, are they delicious. If you can get peaches, and if you can, I recommend that really you can peaches. It's not hard. And the peaches, oh my goodness, they taste so good and fresh. And all right, well, I'm not going to bother filling them all up. I'm just going to show you how I said you fill them up to the top, and then I'll show you. Let me wipe my hand off. I'll show you how you just gently press the streusel topping on the top, just like that, and very gently press it down. You want to cover it, okay? And I'll bring the camera closer so you can see. Just cover these 3 here. If anyone goes out later, please, please, please be extremely careful and always have a designated driver, okay? Stay safe. Have fun, but stay safe. Okay, let me show you. See if I can go like this, or if I can move the camera. I just don't want it to fall now. Can you see that good? And then you can brush around the outside the pan after you got crumbs. All right, see, just like that. All right, so that's that part. Then, like I said, you want to make sure your oven's preheated to 425. You're only going to bake them for 5 minutes at 425, all right? Then do not open the oven door because you'll lose heat and stuff. Lower your oven temperature down to 350 and then bake them for 19 more minutes. Remember, when you take them out of the oven, let them cool. Because with all them wet peaches, they're very, very delicate, okay? Now, like I said, you can either take a spoon and drizzle it, or you can use a pipe and tip, and I'm just going to use a pipe and tip just like that. Nice and easy. I'll just do one plate and then I'll show you. Okay, now the batch that I'm getting ready to put in the oven after I fill it, they're going to look just a little bit different from these, only because I did the crumb tapping a little bit different. But on the ones that I just showed you, it's going to be very, very, very crumbly looking at the top, okay? They're good sized muffin. Like I said, they're very moist, very delicious, and you should try it, really. And like I said, if you don't have any canned peaches, then you can buy peaches at the store, or even if you have to go buy canned peaches, make sure you drain them good, okay? And you want a total of 1 3/4 cups of them, all right? Just dice them up small, and then just at the end in your muffin batter, you're going to just gently fold them in. All right? Well, you all take care. Be safe. I wish you the best. God bless you. Bye-bye.